Hello, and welcome. Welcome on into the Swear Word. I'm your host, Brandon Swear, and hey, this is a podcast for the chili community, by the chili community. Regardless of your spice tolerance, this is the place for you. Man, we have an amazing episode here tonight. 3 products on deck for Hot or Not. A very fun guest planned, as well as a very fun game to throw into the mix. So, episode starts now. What's going on, Swear Nation? So glad to have everyone here rocking and rolling, whether you're tuning in on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for being here and making the show what it is. Continue to share this out with other like-minded chili heads or individuals that are just curious about the world of hot, because this is where you can find everything to do with the world of hot. Up tonight, we have 3 amazing products here on deck for Hot or Not. These are all from TD's Brew and BBQ. And of course, we had to have TD on here, and we're going to be diving into everything that TD has going on, from his cooking times that he does in between games, as well as his amazing lineup of products, and being able to help out with co-packing and being able to help educate those that are just starting out to help, maybe boost their company. So we'll be diving into all of those on tonight's episode. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and jump on over to Hot or Not. This one here is from TD's Brew and BBQ, Habanero Honey Mango. As always, do not like to read the ingredients ahead of time. I like to let my taste buds do the exploration. So from a packaging standpoint, I'll go ahead and talk on that as well. Love the labeling, very clean, very presentable. Has a nice seal on the top of the lid. You just easily peel it off, good to go. It's not one of those pesky ones that you're like fighting forever to try to get open, and then finally you just break out the scissors and stab the top and then rip the thing out. No, that was pretty easy. It has the 2 different sides for your pour. You have the normal, small perforated holes, as well as the large dump out. Smoky, definitely picking up the notes of the habanero, but the with the name being in there, the honey mango, you're picking up the notes of what smell like the sweetness from the honey, but you're not really hit with that mango aroma right up front like you would potentially expect to think. Cheers. Absolutely amazing stuff there. Spot on. Second, you get greeted with the overall flavor, the honey, the mango, the savory notes. There's a little bit of what tastes like maybe some garlic or some onion going on in there. Then you're greeted with the habanero body. It's so consistent throughout this whole entire process. Absolutely amazing. Not overly in your face sweet. Very well balanced. Very nicely done. One that can lend itself in different directions, whether you are trying to go for something nice, sweet and fruity. Highly can see that working out well as if you're just trying to go for some savory depth. That has tons of it too. So kudos there on that one. From a initial heat standpoint, you're really graced with the great flavor up front. You get a little bit of a gum and tongue tingle, nothing too crazy. Having that normal stinging feeling on the mouth, but it hits really kind of the back of the mouth more than anything. If you're working on your own personal best, this is going to be a nice mild to medium. This is definitely one you're going to be able to enjoy. Where I can see this thing really shining is just about on anything. I mean, burgers, I could see this even going great on some French fries, normal baked potatoes, pizzas, sandwiches. I could see this going great with on top of like a salad as a finish to the overall sauce that's going on in there. Barbecue, grilling, a nice peanut butter cookie with some of that into the batter mix. Oh my gosh, that would be so great. All right, so let's go ahead and read off some ingredients here. Mango powder, honey granulars, lime juice powder, and then we have spices, paprika, sea salt, habanero chilies, garlic powder, sugar, silicone dioxide, and soybean oil added to prevent caking. All right, let's go ahead and read off these scores here. So heat coming in at 2.24, aroma of 3.89, a flavor of 4.4, a versatility of a 4, a burn of a 2.7 for a total swear word rating of 3.45. There we go. Another amazing product that is from TD's Brew and Barbecue. Let's check out the next product. Cherry Chipotle. Great overall visual appeal on this labeling. Very clear of what you're going to be getting into. Let's go ahead and jump on into this one here. Yes, this does have a perforation on the cellophane. Nice wide mouth bottle. Great overall aroma. Oh my gosh. Savory. Definitely picking up some notes of the smokiness, the savoriness, a little bit of a sweet note going on in there. Nice pour, medium consistency. Once it gets going, it gets going. Dark red, reddish brown color to the overall sauce. That is amazing. Absolutely phenomenal. That right there is a home run barbecue sauce. If you are looking for that great smoky chipotle taste, salivating like crazy, let's talk through it. If you're just starting out, this is going to be one that you're going to be able to dive into, enjoy, lather up, and you're going to have a great time. If you are someone that works on your own personal best, you're constantly pushing yourself, this can be a nice mild sauce, but do not let that deter you. This is packed with flavor. Cherry Chipotle from TD's Barbecue might be the go-to for whenever I'm thinking about something to dip my French fries in. I can see this going great with burgers, sandwiches, pizzas, tacos, barbecue, of course, grilling out, using this as a marinade. Burn on this one. You don't really get much from the realm of heat, just a very slight kiss. You're really feeling it more on the burn, and the burn is very subtle. It is on the mid part of the mouth. Just a nice low heat sizzle. Absolutely phenomenal. Let's read some ingredients here. TD's Brew and Barbecue Cherry Chipotle ingredients are ketchup, brown sugar, and then we have gardenia, water, Worcestershire sauce. We have red wine vinegar, roasted peppers, onion powder, salt, spices, monosodium glutamate, butter. Absolutely amazing stuff. That is one. All right, here we go. Heat coming in at 2, aroma of a 4.3, flavor of a 4.45, a versatility of a 4, burn of 2.25 for a total swear word rating of 3.4. There we go. Another amazing product. This one here is from TD's Brew and Barbecue. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the next product. Atomic Pineapple Barbecue Sauce. So looking forward to diving into this one here. As you can see here, great overall visual appeal. Those that are keeping track, yes, perforated on the cellophane. So nice, smooth pour. You got a little bit of textured bits. Looks like maybe some of the pineapple. You're picking up a nice savory note. You're picking up bits of the pineapple aroma throughout this, and just absolute pleasure. Very bright. You still have that smoky, savory depth to it, but then that undertone of pineapple is a beautiful carry forward on this. The breakdown of flavor on the overall transition from one into the next is super smooth, super inviting. The level of sweetness from the pineapple is very well executed. It's not done in a way that you're having a very overly sweet barbecue sauce. Very neutral, very balanced, very well done, lending itself to be able to be utilized in many different areas. Burgers, sandwiches, tacos, pizza, barbecue, grilling out, using this as a marinade, using this as a finishing sauce. If you're talking initial heat going on in this, you're really going to be able to enjoy this sauce. You're not going to be burned down. If you're just starting out, this is going to be a great barbecue sauce for you to jump on into and be able to really ignite the taste buds in many different ways, both with heat and also with flavor. If you are constantly working on your own personal best, you're pushing yourself, this is going to be a nice mild sauce for you. Read some ingredients here. Ketchup, then we have pineapple puree, then we have brown sugar, chili sauce, xanthan gum, Worcestershire sauce. We have red wine vinegar, water, onion powder, salt, spices, monosodium glutamate, and butter flavoring. All right, so here we go. We have heat coming in at a 2. We have aroma of 4.25, flavor of a 4.2, versatility of a 4, burn of a 2.25 for a total swear word rating of 3.34. There we go. Atomic Pineapple, TD's Brew and Barbecue. Absolutely amazing. head on over and check these out. I will have the direct links down below for those, as well as a link to the main site so you can check out the full lineup of amazing products from TD's Brew and Barbecue. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and talk to TD himself. Let's jump on over to the interview. TD, how's it going?
What up, dude? Great to be here, man. Great to
Man,
be here. How are you?
doing great. Glad to have you here. I have heard such amazing things and looking forward to learning more about what you have going on. Had the chance to kind of look around, see what products you have going on. You definitely have stuff out there for those that love spicy food. And obviously, the barbecue scene is going to be very thankful to find out more about TD's Brew and Barbecue. So, glad to have you here. And one thing I always start out with is really that icebreaker is really what got you into the world of hot, and then what was that moment that catapulted it to where you were like, I'm going to start making spicy products.
Man, the way I started my brand was I woke up one morning and I told my wife that I was going to start selling my own barbecue sauce to finish the restoration of my 1967 Super Sport Chevelle. And her response was, "Are you freaking crazy?" And so 5 years down, 6 years down the road now, yeah, dude, I've been cranking out sauces. But I have five barbecue sauces, dozen seasonings, and then I also have some pickled products as well that are there, and then eventually soon frozen, ready to grill meats, dude. So
Wow.
hopefully that's coming pretty soon. But man, the thing that really got me into it was I think it was pretty much just like Food Network back in the day, dude. I did my backyard in my brand new house back like 2009 or 2010, something like that, and redid my backyard, bought the grill, to complete the yard, and basically just started diving into the whole Food Network abyss because at this time, like really, like there wasn't a lot of social media cooking going on like that, but there was definitely some. But that was definitely where it kind of came from, was there. And man, I just got sick of all the junk that was out there calling itself barbecue sauce because to me, I could never find the same thing or find what I liked all the time. Like you'd try this one, and the next time it would be different. It would never be the same. And then, I kind of just had this thing where I'm like, oh, dude, I think I was watching Food Network and somebody made a barbecue sauce. So I'm like, I can make my own. Let's see how that goes. And man, I've been making this. I've been making my original barbecue sauce for almost 20 years. Like it's actually been almost 20 years since I started making it. So
Nice. Well, definitely have a soft spot in my heart for muscle cars as a whole. My very first car was a 1967 Mustang. I got it whenever I was 14, restored it up, and had it nice and running and looking great. And just sadly, this last year, I said for the longest time I was never going to sell it. It was going to be my casket. It was having to be crushed around me. And the day had
no,
come that I finally had it was make or break. I had to sell it, but in all fairness, it was
no.
sitting for the longest time. I was back and forth between a sacrilege build and a modern update, and so I couldn't decide, and it just never. It just sat there. So the idea was either an LSX at one point, and then obviously the Coyote rolled out, and then it was like, well, okay, the Coyote's pretty affordable. It makes a crap ton of power, and I was like, oh, I'll go that route. So started acquiring things for that, and then it just all fell apart after that. And sadly, it's gone. But
My condolences. This is so sad to hear. I thought this was going to be a happy podcast, and you bring me on here, then you tell me about how you've had. I mean, so okay, so how long did you actually have this Mustang from the time you were 14 till when?
till God, what 30? So that was still 35, 36. Did I sell it when I was 36? Yeah, 36. Yeah. So I sold it when I was 36. So
So you actually crossed the threshold between having the car longer in your life than you did without it.
yep, sadly.
Ah, dude, I know, man. Like that day, I remember when that day happened with my car. Like I got my car in February of 2000. It was the high school graduation gift from my parents. They gave me the car, dude. It was in total pieces. My dad goes, "Here's your car." He goes, now you get to restore it. And that was pretty much how it's been. And I worked on it here and there. I worked on it solid for like 9 months, dude. Then I moved away, went to college, and then life happened. Life happened after that. A wife, three daughters, a couple dogs, all that stuff. And
Yep.
the car was definitely put on the back end. Then I had some crazy idea to do an off-road racing career for a couple years, so the car definitely took backseat to that one again.
Yep.
And then one day I was like, no more, no
Yeah.
more. I need
Yeah.
this car. So yeah, but I've had it back for about just over a year now. I got it back June of last year. Like about a year ago exactly from the fabrication shop. It's been 2.5 years in the fabrication shop just for the body work.
Man.
I did all the other work myself.
Yeah. That was the thing, is it was like, and to that point, it's like the whole heart, love, and soul that got dumped out into that. And it was such a core part of my life for so long. The whole car scene as a whole. At one point I had, cars and 2 motorcycles, and I don't even ride most motorcycles. It was just, I had a buddy that was moving back to New York. He couldn't take it with him, and then it had a wiring gremlin somewhere. So I moved my dining room table out on the back patio in December, rolled this, it was a 93 GSX, before they went fuel injected and became the GSXR. And it was
Right.
this pink, glittery salmon color. My friend insisted it was red. And so, I roll it in
On a
there.
thousand cc bike.
Oh, it was a 600. Yeah.
Oh,
So
600. Okay, I
yeah,
figured like a Gixxer 1000 back in the day.
no. This thing, it was nice, but it wasn't like, it wasn't something that everyone was seeking out. And definitely not with
Right.
that color. But literally stripped the whole thing down in December with like I said, the table on the back patio, and took off the fuel tank, fuels all over the house, smelling, reeking, and come
Oh
to find
yeah.
out it was just a pinched wire behind the fuel tank that was causing all the problems. Brand new wiring harness, flipped it for some cash, and then threw it back into another project car, and as it goes.
Oh
But
yeah,
once
that's what you
again,
do.
you start your family. You have I have 3 kids as well, and so it became, the whole car life had to just kind of more or less die or be put on
Oh,
hold.
I
And
know.
so it gets away,
I
but
get it.
yeah.
I get it. I get it, man. I get it, dude. Have you seen the video? Have you seen the one viral video where the guy explain, or it says this guy explains why he has so many projects? Because I have to fix this in order to fix this, and I got to fix this so that way I can put it in here, and then I can fix this to go in that. And it's
Yep.
like that's exactly what your garage is like, dude. Like
Yep.
they're like, not only do you have the toys, you have the stuff that goes in the toys that you have to fix before you can put them back in the toys. And that's
Yep.
the funniest part, man. Like I got rid of all that shit. I'm like, no more. I'm done, dude. I'm done. I'm gonna put a man cave in my garage. Start collecting cars. That's my goal.
Yep. I even started looking into the, mounted, rather cheap lifts that you could also use for the excuse of
Mhm.
storing multiple cars stacked. And so, yeah, it didn't work out. It was not
Sad to
happening.
hear, man.
And so it had to move on, but I already got my eyes on a few other projects. So,
Oh, that's
hopefully
okay. Yeah,
soon.
you've already moved on. Yeah, you've already moved on to
Yeah.
new projects. That's
Yeah.
great. That's a great idea.
I've
Sounds like a
always,
fantastic idea.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
moving on from a 30-year project to a brand new one. Great idea.
Yeah, yeah. So, I trying to keep it still in that whole, I guess, Mustang line, even though I've driven quite a
Oh
few
yeah.
different things. But I don't know, those late '80s, early '90s Fox bodies just have always spoke to me.
Hmm.
The second they ditched the 4-eye look and then went straight to the
Right.
2 headlight, well, separate blinker to the headlight setup,
Hmm.
was much more nice and appealing to me. So, one of those slapped with a nice Coyote in there, and call it a day. Thing will
Well, I
haul
heard
the
you say
mail.
LSX a minute ago, and I was like, "Oh, you're gonna build it Ford tough with Chevy stuff, huh?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was, I got the biggest flack from my little brother about that, because he still has his Mustang. He has the 66. I had the 67. And then he now also has like I think it's either an '01 or something like that. And then now he has also got a 2018, 2019, something like some one rather newer model as well. And so he's pretty into it all, and he's still been working for
Uh,
Ford for a while. That's how I was able to start acquiring these Coyote parts. And so yeah, all that kind of unraveled, and then just said relinquish it. I don't even want to think about it right now. I was too sad.
I know. Let's
Just
stop talking about it. It hurts me.
ah
I have sympathy pains for you, man.
well,
Dude, I've been broke. I've been like broke enough like 3 or 4 times in my life to consider selling mine, man, and I never did. And then there was one time I was like, I think I'm gonna do it now. And it wasn't like I was broke. I'm just like, I can't spend the time. And my wife's like, no way, we've been broke and you kept that car. She's like, no way, you're not selling it. I'm like, okay. And then that's when I think that's probably like the conversation that happened at some point before the day I woke up and was like, I'm gonna sell barbecue sauce so I can restore my car. And my wife's like, are you crazy? I'm like, we'll see. So
yeah.
yeah, that's kind of where we are.
Well, how long has that process been taking, and how has that journey been for you to be, starting on that path? And I mean, obviously, with project cars in general, they can always add more to it. But how has that process been for you along the way?
Oh, well, the Chevelle's never done, man. Chevelle is like never done. It has stages. Let's put it that way. And like
Yep.
at the stage that it's at now, the stage that it's at now, I can drive it pretty much anywhere and wherever I want. Probably get about 18, 20 miles of the gallon, running 70 on the highway. I'll just tell you real quick, it's a 6 liter LS motor that's in it. Everything is classically up. Everything is a classic update. So the interior looks original. I haven't redone the interior in 20 years. I did that back 20 years ago. And then I'm trying to think here. Yeah, dude, I got AC, Bluetooth. It's
Yep.
basically it's a resto mod is what it is, and so the next stage would be to go in and do the interior like a resto mod. Like I want to update the interior. So like the car has basically, the more I look at it now, the car has basically been a metaphor for my future with TD's Brew and Barbecue. It's like how long it took me and how much time I did not spend on it, and then how much it didn't change.
Yep.
So for 20 years, the car didn't change. And the reason why is because all I did was just move it from place to place with me. I didn't work on it. And then when I did work on it, the brakes went out and I ran into my house and I had to fix my house first before I could fix the car. So, and then not long after that, that's when my wife came up pregnant. So yeah, the car didn't get fixed. Um, so that's kind of the problem with that, man. But man, the process of building the brand it's different than just selling a product. The process of building a brand is completely different. This is my lifestyle. I don't just make the product or sell the product. I actually live the product. So like everything that I eat pretty much on a daily basis is cooked with my products. And so I've basically created my own diets, which is basically like no fast food, anything like that. Just whatever you cook, you can cook with it. And so it took me a long time to figure that out, to the point that if I'm not really a long time, but it's like if I don't use the stuff on a daily basis, how can I understand every possible scenario that I can use my products in? So not only do I have basically every scenario that I try to use my products in, whether it be cooking a steak with 4 different products, or cooking chicken with 3 different variations of sauce or seasoning, combinations at one time, or depending on what we're doing. Like we just did wings the other day, and it's been a while since I did wings like this, but I put smoked chili salt on the wings, and then when I got done, I sauced them with the OG and a little bit of my buddy's hot sauce. And holy shit, man, they were like the best wings I think I've ever cooked in my life. And it's just been a long time since I used a combination of a hot sauce with my barbecue sauce, because you get such tunnel vision when you're doing products and you're trying to do recipe development. And recipe development and product development, two totally different monsters.
Yep.
Your recipe development, you create the product that you want. Like if you can, like my cherry chipotle barbecue sauce, my atomic pineapple barbecue sauce, and the southern mustard, they're all variations of the original sauce. That's all it is. So those recipe developments are very, very, very simple compared to the recipe that we want to use it on, you know, like, so like
Yeah.
the way I want to use the product. So like the carne sutra is not just a seasoning, it's also a brine. You know, I can use the carne sutra as a brine, like how you do that. And that's what really takes the long process in the point of doing the live cooks, or as far as, you know, with the products themselves and promoting the brand. But the real magic, man, the real part that is like the grind, man, is everything I do after those things. You know, like, so like, I mean, I basically call it like my daily job every day, which is basically being Terrell Dunlap of TD's Brew and Barbecue. And then, or let's just, yeah, let's put it this way, like TD of TD's Brew and Barbecue during the day. And then at night, I get to be Terrell Dunlap of TD's Brew and Barbecue, where I'm the one doing all the work, doing all the work here. So it's like when I get done with all the stuff of making the phone calls, you know, sending the emails, doing recipe development, anything that I get done, doing recipe fulfillment or order fulfillment every day, warehousing, cleaning, whatever I do, you know, if I have 2,000 pounds of seasoning come in, I have to bottle it that night. So it's like I'm still doing the same thing that I was doing as a side job 5 years ago. You know, I'm just working a different job during the day, and that's one thing, dude. A lot of people don't. A lot of people forget when they're looking to have their side gig go full time. Is that is the thing, is like you don't realize, dude, you have to keep yourself busy for 8 to 12 hours a day.
Yep.
And not only do the product, like you have to get to a point where you're busy 8 to 12 hours a day, and then you're doing the part of that what your product is after. Because that, one, dude, there's no one to bother you. Two, you don't have anything to take your attention away from it. So that's one of the reasons why I believe that you can put out the best quality product that you can when you are still operating as a side gig.
Yep.
Because to me, I feel like it's more important to you, and it's the process of keeping that process. So I have a daily job of running TD's Brew and Barbecue, and then at night is whenever I do the stuff that to make the products and stuff like that. So basically, when I had a different job, that's all I did all day was work that different job. Then I came home and made products, you know, or sold products, and that's basically what I do now. So it's like, so when I have that seasoning come in, yeah, dude, I crank up the tunes, man. I grab a bunch of snacks, dude, and I hit the plant, man, and like if it's not like I've been in there, it's snowing in there, I crank the heaters and stuff up, dude. They're like 75 degrees in that place, dude. It's snowing outside. You know, the other night I had it 68 in there, dude. So yeah, dude, I mean, it was hot. I had 68 degrees, just blowing the AC in there. You know, so it's pretty nice because like you get left alone. I
Yep.
listen to a lot of live concerts, man. So, but that's basically what the process is, man. It's just a grind, and you know, it's staying in the grind for a longer period of time. It's building up the momentum. It's meeting your. It's going out and doing the things that you don't, or that you have already done
Mm-hmm.
100 times,
Yep.
and to the point that you still have to keep doing it every day. Like, you know, you will get to that point where you're like, dude, I don't like when I run some of my routes, I'll run some routes that will take me 12 hours to run these routes. And it's like 5 stores. So I hit 5 stores in a 12-hour route. So there's like 7 hours of windshield time on this route. And so like I run this route and stock these stores, and it's like every day, like you still get up. Like, it's like, I do not want to go to work today.
Yep.
But the thing is that once I finally get to that first store, it's different.
Yep.
It's just like hitting that coffee or something. It's just like another level, because now I'm doing what I want to do. Is I'm hustling product. You know,
Yep.
I'm selling what I've created, and that's where you just have to sometimes look down and be like, I invented that. Like,
Yeah.
that's the cool part, is like stuff comes off the line. Like, I invented that. Like, this did not exist until I did that. And just keeping yourself humble enough to stay in the game, dude, is the hardest thing, because I see guys in the industry that are doing things, man, and I can see them on social media, dude, like not losing it, but just like, this is hard. Like, I don't know what to do. And it's like, well, dude, you just have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it, man. It's a long game. So like I said, the car has been a great metaphor for the business, dude.
Yeah. And there's a few things there that you had mentioned that really stood out to me. Obviously, understanding your product and how it works and the different applications and how those that are, you know, picking up your products, how they're going to be using them. Like, Finding out and being able to explain, understand, sure, that's great, but being able to put yourself in that mindset of the consumer of your products is real crucial to making sure that not only is the overall process potentially easier, but also more easy to explain and really kind of convey how the life cycle of your products are going to end up playing out. Same thing. It's like you mentioned, staying passionate about things and not getting just sucked into the idea of the business, not losing that spark, that chemistry, that overall enjoyment, and really being able to have a fine tuned machine that you're just sticking with, and that level of discipline, that level of determination to stay committed and stay focused. You're doing the hard things every day, day in, day out, that you need to make sure that you maintain success. And yeah, it's oftentimes a lot of people will just throw in the towel on that. And I mean, it's sad to see when that happens. And you really just hope and root for them to, pick themselves back up and get back on the grind.
Right.
And it's not always the easiest thing. I can't speak to making product and moving it like that, but just even with the idea of staying consistent and knowing that I haven't dropped or missed a podcast, it's kind of in the same realm. It's like there's some days where I'm just like, man, it'd be really nice to just take a break today. But it's like you just got to stick on top of it. Definitely that little over a first year that I did solely live, and it was like you had to be there. There was no being sick. The two
Right.
times that I was sick, I don't know how I managed to hold it together for that hour and 20-30 minutes that I was actually interacting and doing things. But other than that,
Right.
it's like some of those days you have to go as as you are, and if it's not 100% yourself, you just at least stayed committed and you didn't give in to the weaker person on your shoulder that's saying just give up. So
Right. So let me ask you this. When you have those days where you're like, dude, I wish I could just reschedule this guest, or like, I don't want to do this podcast today. How do you feel when you get done?
oh, energized, this thing always
Dude,
energizes
it's
me.
the best show ever, is it not?
Yeah,
Like, you're like, nailed that shit, dude. Like, I got
yeah,
it. That's the whole point, man. And so, like, like if you think like, and this is one way that like a lot of things changed for me when I started looking at like my daily routines and my business like this, because not only am I a small business, the thing is that I'm trying to create a much larger business. Like, I'm trying to scale to the point where I have franchise locations. And so that's where I'm going, which is a completely different path than other barbecue guys, or than anyone else. Let's put it that way, because everybody has their own specific path that they're trying to go down. Whether it's trying to sell, sell as much product as possible to as many people as possible, or it's trying to sell a high end product that's only to these people, or and so on and so on. But the thing is that I just approach it as like a recipe. And if you take your recipe, like if you have 5 ingredients for your recipe, that's 5 things you have to do.
hmm
And so if you do all 5 of those things, what happens? The recipe comes out perfect. So
yep,
if you look at your day with 5 things on top of everything that you do, as long as you hit all of those marks, like think of like checkpoints in a video game. As long as you hit all of those marks, pow, what happens at the end of the day? You go to bed, dude, and you're like, that was easy.
yep,
I'm ready to do it again tomorrow. And then you sleep like a baby, and then you get up and do it again. So what happens when you do it 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 60, 80 days in a row? When you hit that monotonous and you're just flowing through it, dude, you are unstoppable. And man, I the way I live my life is basically the like 75 hard. That's
yep.
basically the way I live my life. And the thing is that if you and I've completed 75 hard twice. I was going to start my third one, but I was sick just recently. But the thing is that if you learn to pick up your momentum, that's where you can control the game.
Yep.
And it's unbelievable how much everything changes in you and your business as long as you can stay in that momentum. And when you lose that momentum, which is kind of like where I'm at now, you're in the valley of despair and you're climbing out, man. Like, you're just crawling out of the pit of misery. And
Yep.
then you get up there and you're like, okay. And then you start picking up that momentum. And then it takes nothing. It takes, I mean, the atomic bomb is the only thing that would break it.
Yep.
Like death, dude, because it's so, you're so on it. And the thing is, it's just like if you're cooking, if you make a batch of barbecue sauce or you make a batch of seasoning or whatever, and you nail it, and everything is smooth and everything is perfect, then the next batch, you're going to feel even better about that batch. And then you're going to feel better about that batch, just like today. If you do good today, you're going to feel better about tomorrow, and so on and so on and so on.
Yep. Well, having micro wins is definitely the way to go to be able to get
Daily.
that momentum going. Because yeah, like you're saying,
Yep.
it's almost as if, I mean, you hear the multiple different metaphors that people will use for this. It's like the roller coaster or the train or
Right.
whatever. But whenever it gets, if you lose steam up here and all of a sudden you have the brakes on as you're going down the hill, the second that you get stuck in that valley, yeah, you're going to be rocking for a bit before you get back up. So you have
Right.
to go through some crap before you can see the height again of really enjoying life. And yeah,
Right.
it's definitely not for everyone, but being able to push through that is really the energizing aspect. But then again, not a lot of people are energized by what they do. Not saying
Right.
that what they're doing isn't right, but you want to ideally be in something, doing something that you can pour your love, your heart, your soul, your passion into, and be
Right.
energized and motivated and driven to do what you need to do for that. And yeah, it's a
Right.
nice thing to find that, but just hold on, don't let go, push
Yeah,
through.
yeah, dude, that's the thing, man. It's like if you get into that pit of misery, man, and you quit, you automatically have to start over, no
Yep.
matter where you are or what you're doing. That's that kind of goes back to what I mentioned earlier. Like you had a 30-year project, now you sold it for a brand new to start a new project. You see what I mean? Now you
Yep.
were 30 years down the road, and now you got a brand new one. It's like having a kid whenever the other kids are 18.
Yep. Well,
Yeah, you got to start all over now.
see, whenever I even had the Mustang, and even whenever it first got sidelined, I ended up picking up. I kind of switched. I went from like a muscle car ideology and era down to I flipped into at the time it was a '95 240 SX SE, and I went full on drift build,
Oh,
autocross
nice.
setup, and it was super nice, but it was also obnoxiously low, so low that deliberately I made sure that only a 500 stack of paper could barely fit under the front chin spoiler, and it was a lot of fun to drive.
Oh, I
Very
bet it
minimal
was.
power, but a lot of fun.
All right.
So yeah, it
I
was
totally get it, dude.
it was crazy
I
to see
raced
what a
off-road
250
UTV.
horsepower thing could do, like that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, a really light car with the
Yeah.
hand. Did you have a handbrake in it
Oh
too for
yeah.
your drift?
Oh
Oh
well,
yeah,
it
hell
was
yeah, dude.
just
Yeah,
I
dude, a
just
car
took out
like
the
that,
safety
nothing,
pin
dude.
so you could pump it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Gotcha, dude. Yeah, I raced off-road UTV in a YXZ 1000, dude, like a UTV. I did that for like 3 years, dude. So it's like, and all I was doing was just breaking shit, man. So it's like all I
Yep.
was doing, I just dumped it was like no time, dumped 30 grand on top of the price of the race car into it, dude. I rebuilt the motor, pistons, pulled it out, sent it to a racing shop. They did everything, dude. Like that, by the time I was done, that car was like putting like that UTV was putting like 110 horsepower to the ground. And
Yeah.
the fastest I ever had it was like 94 because, dude, I just didn't need it to go any faster than 94,
Yeah.
dude. Like on a dirt road, dude, you hit a rock that big, it's like a speed bump, man.
Yeah.
Even if your suspension is set right, dude, like you still feel that damn rock, dude. Like
Yep.
it's no, it was enough. I smashed it enough. I sold it not too long ago, like actually a couple of weeks ago. Dude got a steal, man. He's like, why should I buy? He's like, I'm looking at one that's like a year older and it's only like $1,000 less. And I'm like, then you should definitely buy this one. And he's like, why? And I'm because, dude, this car's got like 30 grand in upgrades in it, dude. Like, that one is a stock one, dude. Like, why are you going to buy a stock one and deck it out, dude? All you need on this one is a new set of tires, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, and you could go racing tomorrow, dude, or you could beat all your friends wherever they're wanting to drive. So yeah, man, I'm done with the racing thing, dude. I smashed my melon a few times. I smashed that one and crushed my melon a few times. Spent a couple days on the couch one time, and yeah, dude. I don't know if I've ever been the same fucking since. It was
Huh?
probably pretty close. It was probably pretty close to then when I decided that I was going to restore the muscle car. So yeah, I was like, I'm done with this thing, man. I'm like, I'm done. Smashed it too much. No, it just, I was done being sore.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. I I never got too big into the off road side of things, but I have been. I knew somebody that had an Ariel Atom, and being able to sit passenger in that, it was insane.
I
The
bet.
it's this tiny little motor, but that supercharger screaming in your ear with the air intake right behind you. It's wild. I mean, no windshield. You're feeling everything slap you in the face, and it's like I was young, dumb, not
Right?
wearing a helmet, not wearing nothing. So it was just
Uh,
bracing it for everything. But yeah,
uh,
no, fun times, definitely fun times. But
yeah, I always wore a helmet. I always wore a helmet, and I still got my bell rung multiple times, dude. Antonio Brown's going to put me on CTESPN, man.
hey, he's got those crash out buckets. I keep seeing those
Oh,
pop
no,
up everywhere.
that is good, man. That
Oh
thing is
man,
that was awesome, dude. What a great little kick for his episode, dude. That was too funny, man.
yeah, yeah.
Calling it a crash bucket.
Oh man, yeah, it was pretty good stuff. Okay, well, all right. To I guess not get too far off track.
Yeah, focus. We'll focus.
As you're going through the process, you're starting up the brand. You have this in mind. Was your initial thought process like always? I mean, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I've always thought of it in this way. You have like mainly three different avenues, and you've kind of mentioned on one, but it's like selling to specific, individual consumers, just direct to consumer type of thing. And then you have the retail dragon to slay, if you will, or jumping into a major food chain and trying to get your products in there. When evaluating that process and that thought, avenue, were you ever like, this one path is just never on the cards, never in the cards for me. I'm just going to stay clear of that. Or, how to have you gone through the thought process of that?
Dude, man, to tell you the honest truth, dude, I sold barbecue sauce to anyone who wanted to buy it, dude. I walked into grocery stores and, hi, I'm Terrell. I have TD's Brew and Barbecue. This is my barbecue sauce. This is my seasoning. You should check it out. Here's my price sheet. Da 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 da. Gave him my whole spiel, dude. And I either got in right then or I got in later. To be honest, dude, like I didn't deal with a lot of no's for a long period of time. I did deal with one right off the bat, and it's funny because like no matter what application I fill out, there is always a section. Sorry, my dog is barking for some reason.
No, you're good.
Um, but there's always a section where you fill out, and it always says, "Are there any stores that you refuse to stock?" And I always put this one store on there. I
Mm.
always do. I don't care. My goal in life is to buy all the property around that store so that way I can put what I can be their competition. Like all, I will build my facility all the way around, like in a U shape on their property, just so I can squeeze them out. But yeah, dude, this lady told me that if I was still in business in 18 months to come back and see her, and I was like, no problem, lady. 2 weeks later, I stocked 2 weeks later, no, 2 weeks later, I stocked 125 United Market Street in Albertsons, New Mexico, and Texas. So yeah,
Wow.
I wasn't worried about your store 18 months later. I mean, yeah, if you wouldn't have said that, I would have been back in there. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah.
it was just, yeah. I'm like, well, I got every store around you is your competition now. And it's funny because that store gets tagged in Facebook, posts and stuff all the time. Like if I ask, like, hey, are there any stores in this area or whatever? People tag that store all the time, dude. It's so funny, dude. But it's like, nope. Like I'm not going to mention it. I don't really. It's
Yeah.
not really a big deal. But yeah, the thing is it's just like, yeah, dude. That's the one thing that I have the dark side in my mind that helps me motivate myself to not only do this. It's like like we were going to kind of go back a little bit to like waking up that day. It's like, remember that day? Like,
Yeah.
remember you got to buy all that property around that place, dude, to crush that bitch down, but no, man, dude, I didn't realize it in the beginning, and this is something that I slowly realized over the course of a couple years. Is where you want your price point to be, and who you want your customers to be. If you look at it like, hey man, I got barbecue sauce here, and I got my own brand of barbecue sauce, okay, and you buy it from a co-packer, you have someone make it, or you make it yourself, and it costs, in the total cost for you and everything is like $5. All right. So the thing is, you go to the grocery store and you look at the grocery store shelf, and the most expensive one you can see is probably like $7. Okay. So then you're trying to go out and you try to sell it for $7 because that's what you see.
Mhm.
And the thing is it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. No matter what that product costs you, if you want to be in money, you have to make money on that product. You
Yeah.
have to be at a point where you are over your, the way I like to say is, and this is one thing that I tell my customers all the time too, is that if you can find your break even point, by doing the math. And when I say break even point, is like that bottle costs you $5, and let's say you sell it for 15, or let's say you sell it for $10. Okay,
Hmm.
so you've used that $5 to make another bottle.
Hmm.
So now you've replaced that bottle and you have the $5 on the profit. So what you need to do is you need to figure out how many bottles you have to sell before can actually pay for all the ones that you make at one time
Yep.
off that profit, and not take any of that money out, so then you can flip it into your next batch. And
Yep.
that's basically, dude, I started my brand with $1,458.36. I want to say it was right on the money right there. I started with 6 different products, and all I have ever done is basically reinvest 100% back into everything that I do. So if at the end of, basically I did get to a point where I was able to receive a very small salary, like to cover small bills, since my
Yep.
my wife is a dialysis nurse. So this has
Okay.
been one thing that's been great. I had a previous business before, so I mean, we put ourselves in a position where I actually was pretty fortunate to be able to do this, because the thing is that out of yeah, I mean, shoot, out of my entire life, it's like this is the least amount of money that I'm making right now. But the thing is it's not just about that. It's about moving the product and getting to the future of what I want to do, so that way I can help more people, not just with the product, but I can help more people achieve their goals and their dreams, restoring a 1967 Mustang that they bought from some dude from 30, had it for 30 years,
Yep.
so they could finish that up. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I want to do, and that's the next part where I'm going is to start bringing employees and start bringing in my culture into not just the industry but into my brand, and start helping other people. Maybe they can have a path to some type of success where they can help build not just the brand but help build their career through the means of my company as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you're investing in. So like the great thing there that I was picking up is that you're not only you're very focused on what the business needs from the day to day, but the trajectory, the growth path of being able to not only have employees, but then have people that you can pour into, that then you make a major impact into their life, that they can then make an impact in others'
Hmm.
lives, and just have this cascading ripple effect of amazing, benefit that just your initial efforts really kind of helped momentum and wave out. And like that's ideally, that is my overall, that's my whole outlook, my path, and everything that I try to do is, if I can be the best version of me, that then and help the next person out there, and then help build up my community, and then my community people, like people in my community, start helping others, then it just starts to ripple out. And that mentality is something that I've always tried to live by, strive by, other than whenever I was young, dumb, and running around thinking I'm invincible, beating on my chest. Quickly got humbled and found out that this was the better outlook in life. And ever since
Right.
then, that's just been kind of my main focus as well. So I definitely can appreciate and respect that, and definitely glad to hear that. And I know that You've had some great wins recently for being able to expand your small business through stuff with the state. So, explain a little bit more about that for those that are watching and listening.
Yeah, so one thing too, a resource that's available to a lot of small businesses that a lot of people do not know and it's really difficult because this wasn't explained to me either, and that's one thing that really kind of sucks is that once I found out about this program, it was almost like, why was this hidden from me? Like, why? And to be honest, everything is so confidential in that department that realistically, the only way you hear about it is through advocates. So, like someone who's gone through this process, like say me telling you now on the
Mm-hmm.
show, it really kind of like that. Or if you know, but basically, if you don't know, like me, Small Business Development Center. There is one at a college near you, wherever you live. I promise there's probably one within 30 minutes of you. The Small Business Development Center, what they do is that they help small businesses develop. That's exactly what they do. So the guy that I deal with, he's been in that position for over 25 years. And he says he helps over 400 businesses a year. And I'm not in a very big community here, but I'm in a big enough. But he
Mm-hmm.
says he helps over 400 businesses a year. And like I go and meet with this guy, and it takes me 2 weeks to process an hour to hour and a half of everything we talked about because it just starts making you think about what you're going to do with your business. And so that's one of the things that is the most important thing that I can say is that if you have a small business, definitely reach out to your local small business development center and at least go talk to them. It's free. Like it's free. I mean, that's basically all I could say. It's free. If you have an idea of how you want your business to run, go talk to him. It's free. And he will help you as much as you need, or she, whoever. But yeah, Small Business Development Center, that's a great one. I only found out about that through, which is now what I'm getting into, is economic development. The economic development of New Mexico, which economic EDD is what it's called, or EDC, Economic Development Center. What that is they help stimulate the economies. And what it is, especially right now, manufacturing. So I was able to, with the sorry, dude, the mosquitoes. I may look like I'm inside, but this is actually my outdoor kitchen. So I'm outside, so the mosquitoes are getting me. Anyways, where was I going with that? Oh, the small business or economic development. So I was actually able to apply and receive the approval of benefits, which right now I'm actually finalizing everything. I went through the audit and finalizing everything. We'll be able to purchase the property very soon to start building. But what I'm saying is that the economic development, a rep from the economic development reached out to me and actually came by my booth when I was doing a sample. And he's like, "You interested in scaling your business?" And I'm like, "Dude, that's what the two words I've been looking to hear forever. Scaling a business." I'm like, "How do I do it?" And he hands me his card. He's like, "I'm going on vacation for the next 2 weeks, but hit me up after that." Dude, that was the longest 2 weeks of my life. I had so many questions, so many questions. So him and another rep came and they looked at my facility that I have here. And not only was I manufacturing and distributing, I was also warehousing. So now, not only was I able to apply for two grants, I was able to apply for three, and
Nice.
not only those three combined were actually, I was actually able to get all three of those combined for a reimbursement grant over the course of 5 years. It's all based upon employees that you hire and over that course of 5 years. So in that course of 5 years, if I brought in 16 employees over that course of 5 years, I will be reimbursed for up to $150,000 of my land, building, and infrastructure on my facility.
Oh, heck
So
yeah.
the first side is basically almost what it's going to cost to actually is almost what it's going to cost to actually build the facility. So once we get this approved, now the other thing is I was able to get the 150 from the state economic department, but I was actually able to get another 20 from my local economic department. So now not only do you have grants from the state level, you also can get them from the local levels. So I highly suggest, especially other sauce makers and stuff in the industry. I know some of you. Reach out to me. I'll gladly tell you guys what to do. I'm in New Mexico. Your state's probably a little different, but I guarantee it's not that different because every state has small business development and economic development. And if I've had even one of my co-packers say that he's been approached by those people. He's like, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, that sounds too good to be true. And that's where I'm like, no, dude, like you should definitely go talk to them again. And so what it is, you can expand, and then let's just put it this way, like it would help secure. So if I have this say 150, and I needed 200, this would help me secure the funding for that I would need to reach to do my expansion. So then I could take this to the bank and say, hey, look, I only need this for X amount of time instead of a 5-year or 20-year business loan. Like I only need it for X amount of time, so I can get reimbursed for this. And that's basically your operating money. But however you run the business or however you do your thing, but definitely take advantage of these systems. Small businesses definitely take advantage of these systems. I am, and that's the only thing I can say is that I didn't think I ever would be in the position to where I would be able to, but I was. And so not only that, the building, the land and the existing building that I'm going to purchase from the city here. The city actually owned it. It was up for auction. So I ended up getting the building for 25,000,
Oh,
or the
nice.
land in the building for 25,000. So once I actually purchase it, so I have to get the LEDA start date, or the economic development start date with LEDA funds. I have to get that start date, then I can purchase the building, so that way it can go towards my reimbursement, part of my reimbursement. So that's basically what you do. And then if it needed a new AC, then that would go towards it. Or if I kept the existing structure, but probably what I'm going to do is tear it down and build a whole new one.
And that sounds super helpful and definitely a great way for those that are starting out, or maybe they feel like they've hit a plateau and they don't know how to continue to push forward. That sounds like a great way for them to tap in, find out what their state and local government has available for them, and really also being able to utilize that resource of the heading down to the local college for the small business aspect is going to be extremely crucial, because from that standpoint, what you'll be able to do is really just tap into that well of knowledge that they've had the chance to experience and really get to understand. So very
Right.
cool. As far
Yeah, man.
as
And that's the best part. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off there,
oh
but
no,
yeah,
you're good.
that's the best part about these things is that especially the small business and even the economic development, they're free. You can apply for it all you want, dude. Like that's the thing. You talk to them, they can come and look at your facility and tell you what you can do. One of the guys that came into my facility, he spent 20 years in a high-speed bottling facility for Coke
Oh wow.
and for Coca-Cola, not in Colombia, but Coca-Cola, that kind of Coke, that
Yeah.
kind of Coke. And then, but then the crazy thing was, he told me before that, he goes, yeah, the only reason I spent 20 years with Coke, I spent 40 years in the same high-speed bottling facility. They were bought out by Coke at 20 years. He was there for 20 years, and then they got bought out by Coke. So then he spent another 20 years with Coke in the same bottling facility. So like this guy comes into my facility and basically like he's like, dude, I cannot see anything that you are doing wrong in here. And he's like, do you have this? And I showed him my sheets of how we keep, because you do, when you are manufacturing, you do have to keep all of your information for each batch. And so even with bottling it, I do have a batch number on the seasoning, and I take that batch number and then it goes into the stamp and gets stamped onto the label as the lot number. So
Mm-hmm.
that way, if there's ever a recall, then you know how to get it back. And so
Yep.
like I even have mine down to 50 pounds. So basically I have my lot numbers down to about 75 to 80 bottles, somewhere right around there. So if I ever have a recall on anything that we manufacture, it's only at that scale. So you wouldn't have to recall a whole 130 case pallet or 1,500 bottle pallet. You only need to recall about 75 bottles or whatever 50 pounds of that
Yep.
batch makes.
Not
So, and
not a
he
big
he looks
loss.
at it. He looks at my thing, and the only thing he was telling me that I was doing wrong is that I should have been labeling each bag. So if I have a blend of 50 pounds or I have a blend of 500 pounds, that's 10 50-pound bags. So I need to go bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, and that got me from actually taking it from the whole batch to actually taking it down to the 75 bottles. So yeah,
Okay.
that was basically the only thing. Like it was one of the coolest things. I was like, dude, I can't wait to sit down and talk to you about all of this stuff. And he's like, yeah, man, I can't wait to sit down and hang out with you. So it's like he's like, you just seem like you know where you want to go, and you're not going to stop to get there. And I'm like, dude, that's basically it. So if I run into somebody that's got 40 years in a bottling facility, I want to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and definitely you should. Um, yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a great avenue for those that are, like I said, starting out and or hitting a plateau to really find out and figure out what works best for them and what their state and local government can help.
Right.
So definitely check that out if that is something that if you're watching and listening, you're running into these issues. Definitely want to look into that. But I guess to go diving a little layer into that before we jump on over to the game, which is going to be around the idea of, you've worked with many different, peppers and spices and all these different things in your process of whether that just be R&D or really trying to fine tune your overall products. But have you noticed that there's certain peppers that tend to play better with the barbecue stylings, if you will?
Man, as far as when it comes into a lot of peppers, I don't normally mess with anything that gets hotter than a habanero. Especially, my line is very approachable in all aspects. I say nothing hotter than a habanero, but the spicy carne sutra, I don't think it's that hot, but it gets up there. It's got added 35,000 Scoville units of cayenne pepper, so it's not going to set you on fire, but on a seasoning like that, you're going to get a lot of coverage on the palate. So that capsaicin is going to start to get pretty spicy after a couple bites. But yeah, I don't really mess with too much more than the habanero. But dude, the habanero likes to play with fruit.
Yep.
Like that's one reason why you always see pineapple habanero, mango habanero, whatever, dude. Like I have the habanero honey mango,
Mm.
and to be honest, that one actually started out as a sauce, and then I turned it into a powder, and then yeah, now I'm actually trying to restructure that recipe so that way I can get it into larger containers because right now it only comes in a small container because of the cost and
Yep.
everything that's involved in it is like the most expensive product that I make. And it's only in like a 4 ounce shaker. And it's just when you make the batch, it yields twice as much, as it does in a in a 16 ounce shaker,
Yeah.
like so much more. But yeah, so other than that, man, the Chipotle really likes to blend well in the smoky stuff. In the barbecue world, the cherry Chipotle, when I go to places, my cherry Chipotle sauce is probably, dude, if it's not the best seller, the most popular, dude, it's definitely going to be second. It's going to be very close. The OG sauce is my original sauce is my most popular by far. The carne suture has got a cult following. That's a seasoning, but yeah, that cherry chipotle, man, it hits, and it's there's the chipotle in it is the reason it hits is because it's all balanced, and the chipotle pepper that's specifically used in it is what really balances the sweetness, the smokiness, and the heat. So the sweetness from the sauce, the smokiness, and the heat come directly from the chipotle pepper. And so the way that sauce is it's a dichotomy, and it's just like a perfect balance of all of it.
Yeah. No,
But as far as
absolutely.
like your scorpion peppers and stuff like that, man, I don't normally mess with too many of those. I got a customer that uses some guajillo chilies, and what is it? It's a gochugaru chilies. Not really getting too spicy on those, but they definitely have a little bit more heat than like your cayenne and stuff like that. But as far as the really hot ones, man, I don't normally mess with those, dude, because I can't test them. I can't test them. Like it's just so hard. Like I can't test. Okay, a scorpion hot sauce, dude. One scorpion hot sauce. I can't remember. I think it was Heartbreaking Dawn. Like they have this one orange scorpion. Like it's like a breakfast. Like if you think about like a mimosa or like a really spicy mimosa or something like that, it's kind of like that. But like on breakfast burritos, like it was like the greatest thing ever. And but yeah, that one I would probably do something kind of like that with the scorpion because I could take down a scorpion pepper because I love the flavor as
Yep.
long as it's not. scorpion level hot. Like if you bitch out a scorpion, like I'm in, dude. I'm in all day. But if it's a manly scorpion up there, dude, I'm not gonna mess with it like that, dude.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, and it's one of those things that you often see. Whether it be spice blends or rubs or barbecue sauces, they'll ultimately it won't be the full effect of say eating a pepper itself. It'll
Right.
be really finding that level of heat that's best for the overall palate that is trying to be, delivering the other flavor notes in a nice harmonious manner. So yeah, and I asked that question because ultimately you see oftentimes more of, of course the jalapenos, the chipotles, etc. But outside of that, it seems to be more of the I guess the best way to put it is like wild varieties. So like the chiltepines and all that other stuff, the Peking peppers, and you just see these things really really tying into that side of the world of barbecue and spice rubs. And so I just wasn't too certain if there was any kind of trade off of these tend to work best. But I mean, obviously the Chipotle, tried, true. It is pretty hard to beat whenever it comes to being able to have just enough heat there to notice and an amazing, amazing amount of flavor. So,
Right.
well,
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's easy. It's easy to blend. It blends well. It blends well in especially in sauces. Like it just when you got two flavors here, if you throw the chipotle in there, it usually evens out your scale pretty good, man. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's my favorite pepper because I do love me some jalapenos, plus some hatch green chilies. That's the shit right there. But yeah, dude, I do get down on some chipotles.
yep, yep. Can't beat them. I mean,
No.
it's really a tried and true testament to what that pepper is and what it can be. But okay, all right. Well, let's do this. Let's go ahead and kick it on over to this game because I have a feeling that these conversations are going to fit right in for it.
Perfect, perfect, man. We kind of I didn't realize we had a game, dude. I guess I'm yeah.
Well, here we go. We have a very special edition. This is called the Five. This comes in 2 rounds. So the first round, typically, you're getting your bearings, you're gaining your understanding of what's going on. The way this plays out is on the left-hand side of the screen. There's numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One could be the best, or five could be the best. It's totally up to you and how you want to rank these. And, the only caveat is I'm showing you one image at a time and you have to rank it then. There's no changing it. There's no takesies backsies. If you got into this and all of a sudden you had one being the top ranked, but as you got through, second, third, fourth image, you're like, oh man, I messed this whole thing up. Actually, it should be five is the best. You could then indicate, hey, five is the best or one is the best. So that
I could pull
is
out the reverse card.
you could, yeah, yeah. Ultimately,
Okay,
that's
all right,
that's the
all right, all
only
right,
way to get around that. But
all
here we
right, all
go.
right.
Up first, well, we have. I just had to grab a big name chain, if you will, and just one of their products. So this is Dickey's Barbecue. This is just their rib rub. So this is just to indicate like a big chain rub.
Okay, so I have to rank it. All right, cool. I'm gonna go with four because I don't want to go with five right now.
All right.
And, dude, and I mean, if this was the seasoning that they use in their sausage at Dickey's, it would be number one, no questions asked, because whatever they use in the Dickey's sausage is bomb, dude. Like I love Dickey's Polish sausage. That's the one, dude. It's bomb.
Well, I'm glad I didn't do that because I was actually looking at that sausage rub as well, and there's the specific sauce that they use for it. And I was like, I'll just do the ribs; it's more known. But okay, all right, fair enough. Well, up next, well, we have one of your products in particular, as we just had spoke about, the habanero honey mango.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna go. Ah, damn. I'm gonna go three.
All right, number 3 it is,
Yeah,
and up
I'm gonna go three
next.
because I gotta save room.
Well, the OG of barbecue scene. This is the SPG. Salt, pepper, garlic. No
Dang, dude.
particular brand, just
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go two on that one.
all right. And then
I'm just filling in the middle here so I could go to the top.
I think you might have
Liquid
made a good.
smoke?
I think you might have made a good choice because up next you have liquid
Yeah.
smoke. Where would you like to throw
Five,
this one?
five,
Thank
five.
you,
We're gonna put it
thank
at the
you.
bottom. Yeah, we're gonna put
Oh,
the liquid. No liquid smoke. No liquid smoke.
you,
No
you,
products I make have liquid smoke in them. I just want you to know.
you had me worried there with that pause, and I think you made a great choice because last but not least is well, this is just to represent actual smoke instead of liquid smoke. So
Oh yeah,
polar
one.
opposite to the world of barbecue. You have those people that die
I could live
hard
with
liquid
these choices.
smoke. Well, that's
Yeah,
good. All right, I was about to say, is there any that you
I
would
could live with
have
these
changed
choices.
around?
No, not really, dude, because if this was all I had in my life, like, and the first thing I had to use, only thing I had to use was smoke to flavor my meat, yeah, absolutely. It's the first ingredient, dude. And then, yeah, so SPG, I mean, I could change it to where it's like 20% salt, you know,
Yeah.
20% garlic, 60% pepper, and I could change it around however I want and live that way. And then if I got the habanero honey mango, I'm definitely getting down on some wings and some shrimp, dude.
Yep. I think it's a pretty solid
Yeah, but
offering.
then yeah,
And
and then
I
if I
like,
get past number three, I'll just go back to number one.
yep, yep, definitely. No, I like it. I like the breakdown. I like the rationale. And very fun. Up next, we have another round. And
All
obviously,
right,
we have new items. So here we
all right.
go. Up first, we have this is just to represent white sauce. So barbecue white sauce.
Ooh, like an Alabama white sauce.
Yep.
Dang, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna go four. I'm gonna
All
go
right.
four again.
I noticed.
I'm gonna go four again. I mean, just because, like, I mean, I like Alabama white sauce. So, I
Well,
mean, I just, what do
it
we got?
might
Cherry
get only
Chipotle?
harder. Cherry chipotle.
Oh, shoot. Uh, yeah, we're gonna have to put that at the number two.
Number
We're gonna have to
two
put that at
spot.
number two.
All right.
Yeah, number two.
I'm gonna have to get creative with this because
And the difference, the difference between number two and number one could only be, thousandths of a point.
yeah, and
I did have that happen.
I think it might break down to that because up next we have
Oh,
southern
yeah, yeah.
mustard.
Dude, it's gotta be number one, man. It's gotta be number one.
All right.
Southern mustard. And we could have a three-way tie for first now that I think about it.
All
No,
right.
dude, that happened to me that happened in the American Royal World Series of Barbecue, best sauce on the planet last year. I tied for first place. There was a three-way tie for first. I got third.
Man. Oh,
Yeah. And I tied with Malcolm Reed and the dude and I tied with Malcolm Reed's vinegar sauce. And then I also tied with the guy who won this year.
okay.
So yeah, the past two winners, I tied them both last year with my original sauce.
Nice. Nice. Well, up
Yeah.
next is your original
That's the
sauce.
OG. Three. Put it at three. We'll put it at three.
All right. Well, I
Oh
think you
no, we
know
got
where
the
this is
atomic
going.
pineapple. Is
Oh
it gonna be the
man.
atomic pineapple?
Yeah.
Put it at number five. That's all right. That's all right.
Uh,
I could live with this order because you gotta have the OG sauce and the Alabama white, or you could use it as a dipping sauce for the cherry. Dude, this is like a three-way tie for first place and then a tie for second place.
yep. The
That's
only
how I see
one that you don't have as an offering is the white sauce, and so I was like, I had to grab it because
it.
initially, whenever I was thinking through this game, I was like, all right, well, I got to have a mustard-based sauce. I got to have, your traditional style. I got to have a vinegar base. And I started like breaking all these things down, and I was like, you know what? We're just gonna grab his lineup, and so I was just like, we're gonna
There
throw
you
these
go.
in there, and that's whenever I was like, wait, there's no white sauce. Okay, let's grab the white sauce. So
I know. Hey man, you just wanted to throw me that. You wanted to throw me that off-speed pitch at the first one when I was expected to come right down the middle.
yeah, yeah,
I was expecting the heater, and you threw that off-speed. Got me.
I very deliberately try to stage some of these just to potentially put it in a bind, and so that kind of played out that way. But all in all, what did
It
you think of
worked.
the overall game?
The game is great, man. The game is great, dude. The performance of my products, coming in fifth. In the barbecue sauce, Italian pineapple needs to step it up a little bit. Going down to the white sauce, but it's okay, man. We take it full responsibility for the lack of preparation on our side.
Yeah, it's always a fun way to kind of break up the interview and have it to be just a momentary of
Right?
laughing and joking and
Yeah.
kind of the confusion that can come from the five as well. So it's
Right.
always a fun time to have in there. But yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on the nugget of knowledge already through what we have discussed as far as being able to seek out the local and state government stuff and really being able to help build up a company in that realm, as well as the breakdown of picking up yourself and keeping motivated and staying true to what you're doing. I feel like that pretty well touches on the nugget of knowledge there. But if there's something else that really kind of stands out or you wanted to talk about, this would be a great avenue for, I guess, that real quick. And then, if there's not anything that you wanted to bring up, then really here's your chance to put someone on the hot seat. Obviously, you were nominated to come on the show, and so this is your chance to put someone else on the hot seat as someone you think would make a great guest for the show. So, if you want to start out with anything that you have that you wanted to bring up or wanted to jump straight to the hot seat, feel free.
First thing I gotta say, man, is I do actually love your show. I actually started listening a couple weeks ago, and what I gotta say is, if you or anybody that's listening, if you haven't listened to it and you're planning on going to, say, the Fiery Food Show or Zest Fest, because if you're a chili head, I highly recommend both. Have you been to the Fiery Food Show, Brandon?
I have been told to go the last 2 years, and
Oh,
something's
dude.
come up both times. This last year, I was like just moments away from that happening, and then something popped up that kept me here during that weekend, and I was just like, all right, well, I guess it's not in the cards this year. So next year, it's on the
Ah,
books
dude.
already. So we'll see. We'll see
Yeah,
if I can make
definitely
that
make
happen.
sure you come. Make sure you come by, dude. Dude, let me know. Let me know, dude. I'll give you. I'll save a ticket for you at the front desk, man. Where you can. I'll give
Appreciate
you
it.
one of my vendor passes, man. You can come in anytime. You can come in anytime, dude. But you got to get there, man, because that's what I'm saying is that the knowledge that you threw down on that podcast where it was like gearing up for Zest Fest. I can't remember what the name of it was, but you sat down and basically told everyone what to expect, how it was going to go down, even to the point of, hey, make sure you eat some scrambled eggs and some carbs before you go, especially if you're going to be drinking. And that's
Yep.
true. To even like taking a backpack or taking a backpack because you're going to want all the stuff to carry. Make sure if you go back to your car and come back, refill it. Same thing. Definitely have a couple kids before you come so you can have a stroller because by the time you get done, the kids are walking and the
Yep.
stroller is full of shit, dude.
Yep.
And so that means pro moves. But the other thing is, like you mentioned, writing it down using the notepad on your phone or taking pictures, dude. Solid pro information right there. Everyone should do that. And I tell every customer that comes to my booth at the very beginning of the day, if I can see they may be even hesitant on purchasing it, like they just got there, and a lot of times like people get there and it's like the first thing they try blows their mind, which because they walked right into my booth, that kind of happens. They're like, boom, I got to buy all of it, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, why don't you just walk around, try everything, and then when you're done, or take a picture of what you like on your phone, and then when you're done, stand over there, have a beer, and because they have liquor at these shows,
Yep.
and besides the spicy margaritas at the Fiery Food Show, I put those down while I'm working my booth, and trust me, dude, they are legit. They are legit spicy margaritas. They got the peppers, like the little skewer, and it has like a jalapeno and a red jalapeno and an olive, and yeah, dude, it's awesome.
Nice.
But anyways, yeah, you put those down while you're there, and you make your decide. You make the cut, and then you go around and you pick all the stuff you want. And if you can't decide, go around, try the stuff that you have on your list, and then make your decision from there. That way, you don't have to carry everything around, and that's a pro move. And the thing is that you hit that nail on the head. Basically everything, dude. So yeah, if you're planning on going to one of these shows and you want to enjoy the show, and not just be bombarded by the amount of people and and oh my god, am I going to spend too much money, because you even had a way to even budget your money and even include excess of your budget.
Yep.
It was great, dude. So if you're planning on going to these shows, like a lot of like I'm sure a lot of your audience is like really real chili heads, definitely listen to that episode, and yeah, take notes, because this dude definitely knows what he's talking about those shows. Because if you're not doing that, like, yeah, I mean, the people, the vendors, you can see that. You can see it all the time. Is that people that come in, they try it, and you know which ones have been there before. They've been down that road. They can see it. And then the other thing is that next year you get a group of people, you get a whole group of vendors that are new, and then you go back to the same vendors that you saw last year, and you're like, "What's up?" And you already know exactly what you're doing, dude. Like, it's that simple. And it's not, I mean, it's not just like going to an arts and crafts show and just picking out what you like and going home. Like, you should definitely be like, hey, I'm not going to spend $400 here today.
Yep.
And if I do, it's going to be at the TD's Brew and Barbecue guy. Like, that's
Yep.
where, yeah, this one right here. That's where at the TD's Brew and Barbecue booth. And I did miss you this year at Zest Fest. My oldest daughter turned 21. So we
Ah,
were in Austin. So we were in Austin partying for the weekend. So
you
I
know.
didn't get to miss it. So yeah, but who put me on the hot seat?
Well, that
Was
was
it
the
McCauley?
it was the battle boar himself that
Yeah,
put you
McCauley,
on.
David McCauley
So,
with Torchata.
yep, yep. So,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. He sent me the text with your link, and he's like, "This guy wants you on his podcast." I'm like, "Really? Why not you?" And he's like, "You." I'm like, "Okay."
yep.
So,
We have something scheduled too. So
right
it's
on.
happening.
Good,
So,
man.
yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah.
That
No,
guy's Captain America, dude. He's Captain America, man. He's like a
absolutely.
two-time bodybuilding champion, dude. Like, natural. Like,
He
he is. And dude, he's gonna be like the fire chief one day in like San Antonio. Like, he's a monster, dude. Like, he is
Yep.
so badass. So
He,
I love McCully, dude. He's my boy.
he's got great product as well, and he's got a great attitude and great outlook, and I
Right.
just love to see the enthusiasm and the drive that he has going on. So yeah,
Right.
definitely was a great one to have nominate you, as well as have lined up as someone coming on here soon. Had the pleasure
And
of
see,
checking
this
out
is
his
the type
products
of.
last year. So yeah.
Oh, right on. Yeah. So this is how he is, dude. Like, so you have a podcast scheduled with him, and he said he referred me, and I'm on before him. Like,
Yep.
that's the type of person McCauley is, dude. Like, he's such a great dude. Like, I mean, yeah, he's such a great guy, man. He's such a great. I met him at Zest Fest last year, dude, and that was the only time I've met him.
Yep.
Was there, dude, and we talk at least a couple times a week, man. Like, such a great dude, such a great dude. But who I was gonna put on, I'm gonna recommend on the hot seat. I would say, man, somebody that if you want to talk chilies, dude, my dude Brad with Chilies and Smoke, Brad Pros with Chilies and Smoke. That's the guy you want, man. He actually is the inventor of the smash burger taco. Did you ever
Okay.
see the smash burger taco?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like you make it a smash burger, but you put the tortilla on the top, and you make it like a
Yeah.
Big Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's him. Like, yeah, that's
Okay.
him, dude. Yeah, he's the inventor of the smash burger taco, like, mega viral video. What else did he do? Oh, he did the grilled cheese hot dogs, where everybody takes the hot dogs and they put the cheese in the bun, and they put the hot dog in there, or they grill the hot dog and they put it on the bun, and then they grill it in the cheese,
Oh,
and then they
nice.
flip it back over so the hot dog is coated in cheese.
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah,
wow.
he did that one, and then like he did like the brat, the jalapeno popper brat boats, I think is what they were called, where he took a bratwurst and he cut it open and he stuffed it with cream cheese and jalapenos, and
Oh,
then
yeah, yeah.
smoked them. Yeah, dude.
I've seen
Yeah,
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good, man. Yeah, he's good. But yeah, he's 150,000 followers, I think, on Instagram. But yeah, dude, you want to talk chilies, dude? That's what all his brand is, chilies and smoke. So he is a chili head, dude. Like he uses all kinds of crazy chilies, like like I mentioned earlier, guajillo, gochugaru, stuff like that, man. He uses some Anaheims in there, but yeah, dude, he's really knowledgeable when it comes to chilies. And I actually think he has another cookbook coming out pretty soon. He already has one, but he has another cookbook coming out pretty soon, dude. He would definitely be somebody that I would. You know what? Brad's on the hot seat. Put him on the hot seat, Brandon.
All right, Brad, I will be reaching out. We'll be setting up a time to have you on the show. Greatly appreciate that nomination there, TD. Now, here's
Heck
your
yeah, man.
chance to go ahead and let everyone know, for those that are audio listening only, as well, where can they find you? How can they find you? Where can they keep up with everything that's going on with TD Brew and Barbecue?
So yeah, you can usual suspects on social media at Facebook. Facebook's about the only one that's different, but it's at TDS BREW A&D BBQ. So that's TD's Brew and Barbecue, or TDS Brew BBQ. Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Um, for about for about 2 years. I went live twice a week doing cooking shows for about 2 years. I've been on a hiatus. I've been working on my new project here. It's going to come back pretty soon, as soon as I get into my new building and stuff. But I had to take some time to actually work on the business, which takes up everything. I could do more live videos, but the weather sucked for a while. So I'm done. I'm not making any more excuses. I'm gonna have to get back to them. But like you mentioned, once you stop that momentum, getting back on the train, dude, is hard.
Yep.
Like you miss one time, it's gonna take you two or three more times that it comes around before you get back in that rhythm again, or before you catch it again. And
Absolutely.
that's where I've been is at the end of end of Bears season was the last time I did my live. So I do halftime of every Bears game, every Chicago Bears game halftime. You could join me here in the Sanctuary of Satisfaction for the Bears halftime quick recipe show, where I give you a recipe in 15 minutes for your next tailgate. All of my recipes on my videos, 90 minutes or less. Is pretty much what I do. I'm more of a griller than I am a smoker. If you're coming to learn how to cook briskets, I'm not the one that's going to teach you. If you want to know how to cook a steak, and you want to know how to cook some brats, or you want to know how to cook, shoot, man, what did I do? What did I do the other day? I did some wings, some jalapeno poppers. You want to learn how to do backyard stuff where you can feed your family every night, 90 minutes or less, dude, right here is where it's at. That's what I do, man, because that's pretty much all I got time to do. And someone asked me the other day at a local barbecue competition, they said, how come you're not out here? And I'm like, dude, I don't cook like this. I'm like, if I cooked a brisket, dude, I would already cook three different things and forget that I started cooking a brisket by the time I was done.
Yep.
Like, I've already cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner before the brisket's even done. Like
Yeah.
I'm over it. Like that's just I'm not a low and slow. I'm not a low and slow, dude. Like I said, I cooked poppers and I cooked wings, and I cooked them on the slow roller in the kettle Joe. And they total start to finish was only about an hour and 45 minutes, and they smoked for a long enough period of time, and then they were charred. So I mean, yeah, you want 90 minutes or less, dude, I will teach you how to do it. Like that's how I am, man. It's like those cooking shows, they give everybody 3 hours. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, can I turn it in early? Does it still count? Like, if I'm an hour early, does it still count? No, but TDS BREW BBQ, you can fill those out. MakeLoveToYourMeat.com is my website. You can go check out the sexy chicken there. It's definitely a not suitable for work page, which it doesn't matter. It may not let you in if you're at work. But yeah, it'll get you to the website. You can click yes, you agree to enter the website. It's nothing bad. Get to the website. You can sign up for rewards. I do have rewards on there. Sign up for the emails and the text messages. And I have two free cookbooks, actually. My previous year's Bears Halftime Quick Recipe Show cookbook. It's all the recipes in there. You can actually screenshot the shopping list. It's a free digital download. You can screenshot the shopping list and go to the store, pick up what you need, light your grill, scan the QR code. It'll take you right to the video, and you can actually cook in real time along with me on that video. So Uh, yeah, you can do
Very
that.
cool.
You can. That's just kind of how I do mine, man. Because I shot live. Because that's where I'm best, man. Like if I have the camera in my face and I'm recording me cooking something, I will I will stumble. I will repeat stuff. I'll forget where I'm going. I'll be like, no, I didn't like that, so I'll do it back over again, and like try to redo it and try to redo it, and the next thing I know, it didn't work. But if I just actually do it and not stop or even really acknowledge the fact that I'm shooting a video, then then I can move on. Yeah, is it the greatest form of cooking content, a 90-minute wing video? No, but the thing is that if you actually turned it on at the same time you started, it would actually be just as beneficial for you as it would be if you watched it beforehand at 10 minutes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you know, a pleasure having you on. There's still so much more we can dive into.
Oh, dude.
There's so many different areas. We could obviously dive more back into the product, and then obviously a lot more to do with the fun aspects of other aspects of life. But definitely we'll have you back on very soon. Look forward to having you back on as well. And it's
Absolutely.
been a pleasure.
Dude, anytime, man. Anytime, dude. Yeah, I'm totally down. Anytime, dude. Yeah, it's a great show. Like I said, I am a fan. I heard about it from Macaulay, and I've been listening since. So yeah, I am a fan. So it's really great, man. Looking forward to seeing that episode. And Brad, you're on the hot seat, man.
TD, thanks for coming on the show. It was an absolute pleasure having you on here. If you want to keep up with TD's Brew and Barbecue, I will have the direct links down below for every social, the main website. Check out all the amazing products and really elevate your overall grilling and barbecue game and bring some nice level of spice to it as well. And hey, if you enjoyed this conversation and you want to hear more like this, let me know in the comments down below as well. And if you like the products that were discussed here on Hot or Not, I will have the direct links down below for those, as well as a main link to the website. If you are looking to grow your brand, start your brand, you hit a bump in the road, you're trying to figure things out, highly recommend checking out podvision.io for all of those needs, as well as webdx.one. Say you have a website, maybe it was a great representation at one time for you. Maybe you had a guy, you lost contact. Maybe you just haven't had a chance to get around to making yourself a website. Well, WebDX.one has you covered, and they make it super painless and easy, and they will make you look as great as you do with your own business. I'm Brandon Swear, and from everything from the world of hot, this has been The Swear Word.